USA boxing power that rules the ring is not just a story of punches, belts, or victories, but a thunderous saga of willpower, legacy, sacrifice, and raw American spirit that has echoed through boxing rings for more than a century, shaping warriors who entered the squared circle not merely to fight opponents but to battle fear, destiny, and their own limits, because from dusty local gyms in forgotten neighborhoods to the blinding lights of Madison Square Garden and roaring Las Vegas arenas, USA boxing has always been the furnace where dreams are melted down and reforged into champions, where young fighters wrap their hands with hope stitched into every layer of tape, learning early that pain is not the enemy but the teacher, that every drop of sweat spilled on cold gym floors becomes a silent investment toward greatness, and this philosophy gave birth to an unstoppable lineage of fighters whose power was not only measured in knockouts but in courage, discipline, and mental dominance, because American boxing power has never been about reckless violence, it has been about controlled chaos, intelligent aggression, and fearless pressure that suffocates opponents round after round, creating legends who ruled the ring with presence alone, fighters whose footsteps made challengers hesitate before the bell even rang, and throughout history this power evolved, from the iron-fisted pioneers who fought bare-knuckled wars of endurance, to technically refined masters who blended speed, defense, and devastating precision, proving that true ring control comes from balance between brutality and brilliance, and as decades passed USA boxing became a symbol of opportunity, a ladder out of poverty, a proving ground for discipline, and a battlefield where social barriers dissolved under the shared language of fists and heart, producing champions who carried the weight of their communities with every punch, fighters who understood that every bout was bigger than themselves, that victory meant pride for millions watching from homes, bars, and streets across America, and this emotional connection transformed boxing into a national heartbeat, pulsing through generations, inspiring kids to lace up gloves instead of giving up, because the ring promised fairness, no shortcuts, no excuses, only preparation versus preparation, will versus will, and nowhere else in sports is power tested so honestly, because power in USA boxing is not just about how hard you hit, but how long you can endure, how calmly you can think under fire, how bravely you can rise after being knocked down, and this mentality created fighters who didn't break when adversity struck, fighters who adapted, evolved, and returned stronger, turning defeats into fuel and criticism into motivation, and as the world changed, USA boxing continued to shape warriors who represented the nation on global stages, carrying the American flag not as decoration but as responsibility, proving their dominance against international styles, showing that American power could adjust, outthink, and overpower any challenge, and behind every televised knockout stood thousands of unseen rounds of sparring, lonely roadwork before sunrise, strict diets, missed family moments, and relentless self-discipline, reminding us that ring-ruling power is earned long before fight night, and this grind created an aura around USA boxing that still intimidates rivals today, because when an American fighter steps into the ring, history steps in with them, the ghosts of champions whispering reminders that quitting is not an option, that the ring demands respect, and that power must be proven every second, every round, every fight, and this legacy continues to inspire modern warriors who blend old-school toughness with modern science, nutrition, and strategy, ensuring that USA boxing remains not just relevant but dominant, a system that produces fighters who can entertain, devastate, and endure, fighters who understand that the ring is a throne and only those with unbreakable spirit deserve to rule it, because in the end USA boxing is not about fame alone, it is about transformation, about ordinary individuals becoming extraordinary through sacrifice, about fear turning into confidence, pain turning into strength, and dreams turning into history, and this is why the power that rules the ring is not borrowed, not temporary, but deeply rooted in the American boxing soul, eternal, relentless, and undefeated.